Hey, I'm Amy here with Team Epic, also known as John and Jeff. And as you guys prepare for what seems like an incredibly treacherous paddle, canoe and kayak race, which when you think of kayak and canoeing, you don't think about what you guys are about to experience. First, let's get to know you guys a little bit and how you got involved in the Yukon 1000 to begin with. So, Jeff, there in the blue, you joined the Navy. What made you choose the military, and what made you choose that branch of the military?
I joined the military in pre-September 11th, 2001, and I was working offshore at the time, so the Navy was a natural choice for me. When I got into the Navy, it just became natural. I loved the discipline. I loved the camaraderie. I loved being in the service of the Navy, and ended up spending about 17 years there before I left and went on to be a firefighter. Which again, similar structure with the chain of command and serving the community and everything else. And so that's always been very important to me.
And then, so thank you so much for your service, and even coming out of the service, choosing to be a firefighter, like somebody who is willing to put themselves in a line of risk to save and protect others. Absolutely incredible. So we appreciate all that you do for the nation, and now, locally for your community.
Of course.
Team Riverrunner, supporting disabled veterans. How did you find out about Team Riverrunner? How long have you been a part of that organization?
Yeah, so I was very lucky to find Team Riverrunner. As a veteran coming back from deployments, I think I can speak for most veterans coming back from deployments. Even if you're not disabled when you come back, it is a hard transition coming back, and having that community that Team Riverrunner supplies for veterans, whether they're disabled or not, is extremely important. And what I love about Team Riverrunner is they include all veterans regardless of disability.
Okay.
And they're able to do adaptive paddling for those who are physically disabled. And they include families. So families can be included in this process of coming home and being a part of our society again after having been deployed. So,
and I think sometimes that's what people don't think about, is not just those who are actively serving, but the families who are supporting those men and women in the military as well also go through their transitions and need that community and that support as well. So what an incredible organization. John, you don't have any military experience, do you, John?
I do not.
So as a civilian, why is Team Riverrunner important to you, and how did you become a part of this?
I've always just appreciated folks like Jeff, who, the rest of us, it's easy to take for granted what we have in this country, and folks like him that are, serving years and years, multiple tours. I like Jeff right away when I got to know him. I didn't even know him that well. I just knew of his reputation. So by character, I already kind of knew this guy. So I knew his girlfriend before I knew him. And yeah, when he asked me to do this race, it was basically like, hey, do you trust me with your life? And I've got a lot of athlete friends who may have asked me the same thing to do this race, and I would have paused and just what everyone else. For him, I was like, yeah, I trust you. Let's do this.
Well, let's talk the Yukon 1000. So you guys start in Yukon territory in Canada and paddle to Alaska, beyond the Arctic Circle. What is it that drew you to this race, and how? Let's talk, because you have to be accepted into this race. What was the acceptance process like?
We had to both fill out a series of questions, and we submitted those individually. They wanted to know that both of us were qualified each, and they wanted to know our backgrounds and what weaknesses. Everybody's got they made you list a weakness, and they wanted to know, that you're really going to go there and you're going to know what you're getting into. And for me, if we didn't get accepted, I was already talking to them about just doing this course on our own without doing the race, because that's the mental state you have to have. You have to want to be there, or you're really not in the right event, So seeing, Frontier, just that wilderness area that you may have seen on the website, less people have been in this stretch than have been to the peak of Mount Everest.
Is this where, have you guys seen that TV show? I think it's called Alone.
Oh yeah.
Is that where they send these people? And because
Similar,
okay,
remote areas like that. So
that was the first thing I thought about and how I would absolutely not survive. The description for the Yukon 1000 says the challengers have to have the physical and mental fortitude to cope with the staggering feat of paddling 18 hours a day just to complete the race. You have to be completely self-sufficient. You sleep rough where you stop, and in extreme cases, you must be able to survive in true wilderness. What are you doing now as you guys sit in Chapin, South Carolina, to prepare for that major transition?
you want to take that? Lots of preparation.
Yeah, lots of preparation. I mean, the obvious, everybody thinks about it's a paddle race, so the physical training that comes along with it. But what I think people don't understand or realize in a lot of cases is the research that's involved, understanding where we're going, the mapping, rehearsing skills and drills, our medical skills, because it's just me and him out there. If I get hurt, I have to rely on him to help me, and vice versa. Practicing our camp establishment, camp tear down. There's a lot involved in this race, being out there. So
what are you packing? My fiance and I, we packed go bags. We started watching Alone last year. We're like, we need go bags in case we're traveling somewhere and get stuck. So we have zip ties and wire and like lint to start a fire. What are you guys packing? Do you have go bags, and what are you guys packing?
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad Jeff geeks out about this stuff as much as I do, because I part of the fun is just figuring out the best of everything and knowing what works nutritionally for each of us. He's got some food allergies, so we had to go to a provider over in the UK that deals with, they're really good about expedition foods, but also for people with like nut allergies and legumes and stuff. I can eat anything at all, anyway, we picked out things by calorie count, but a lot of preparation there, but really the main thing we bring is the right attitude. That's number 1, 2, 3, and then the other ones are like 4, 5 and onward. You figure out what's right for you and us as a team.
So the Yukon 1000 happens in July. In the meantime, you guys are doing some fundraising. You've committed to at least 50% of your donations going to Team Riverrunner, and that stays locally, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, everything that we donate, it goes to the national, and they take 10%, but everything else goes to the local chapter here in Columbia.
Okay. How can people contribute to your fundraiser?
We have a GoFundMe going on right now, and if you search on the GoFundMe for Yukon 1000, we are Team Epic, and we're the first one that pops up. And you'll see a picture of us in an Epic kayak, and you'll see the Yukon logo, and you'll see Team Riverrunner's logo on there as well.
I'm so excited. Do you guys have any plans to, I know you already have a lot going on, but like any plans to kind of document this journey as you prepare or during the race itself?
When we get to camp, so there's mandatory downtime each day. And on the races where it's 24 hours on, and every day it just blends into the next. This time there is downtime to make you rest, so you can only paddle for 18 hours. As soon as we get there, we're gonna set camp, and we got to get as much sleep as we can before we're right back on the water. In that time, though, I could see definitely documenting audio version. We're not allowed to communicate with the public. We can't ask like what position we're in the race. We can't get any hints like that. We're on our own. In fact, the only way we can communicate is by satellite phone anyway. There's no communication. You're really remote. There's one town that we go past after about the 460 mile mark, Dawson City. And then after that, you're not seeing another human for, several days.
This seems like a once in a lifetime thing to take on. And I'm so excited, like I said, for you guys. We'll share all the links so people can help support Team Epic and Team Riverrunner. And please check back in with us and let us know how you're doing. And then after you guys get back, I want to hear all about it. So I'll talk to you post Yukon 1000 race. How's that sound?
That'd be great.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Jeff, John, thank you so much. Best, what do you say? Like you say, break a leg to actors. What do you say to people preparing for this?
Don't die.
Paddle hard, don't die.
Yes.
Well, fellas, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you.